It feels like every week another model drops, claiming to crush the current leaders. The noise is exhausting, and filtering out the hype from actual utility is a full-time job. We are drowning under an avalanche of synthetic benchmarks, constantly struggling to find tools that actually fix real productivity bottlenecks. Enter Qwen 3.6+. It arrives with 3 massive specifications. It is open source, it boasts a 1 million token context window, and it is explicitly built to handle agentic, autonomous workflows. The testing data backs up the ambition. Across major evaluations like SuBench and Terminal Bench, it either matches or outright beats premium giants like Claude Opus 4.5 and Gemini 3 Pro. This diagram outlines the typical AI model search. You are generally looking down one of 3 specific paths: fast chat, heavy coding, or multimodal analysis. But there is a serious catch. Because this model spends so much time in a deep reasoning phase, generating long projects is severely sluggish. You will be waiting on your outputs. Evaluating this model requires moving past raw benchmark power. The real test is determining if the quality of that deep reasoning actually justifies the wait time in your specific daily workflow. Let's start with agentic coding. This is completely different from a standard copilot auto-completing a few lines of Python. This is about handing off complex, repository-level problems. With a 1 million token context window, you can feed the model massive inputs all at once, entire project repositories or extensive game logic guidelines. The outputs are highly structured and autonomous. In testing, it generated a functional browser-based Minecraft clone, complete with block-breaking animations, functional water, and an underground cave system where stepping in lava actually depletes your health bar. Generating that experience requires layered, interlocking logic to be built entirely from scratch, orchestrating visuals and back-end mechanics simultaneously. The trade-off is immediate. Processing all that logic forces the model into a highly sluggish state. If you need a rapid, quick-fix coding tweak, it is practically useless. Here is our evaluation matrix plotting user effort against workflow impact. Agentic coding lands squarely in the high-impact, high-effort quadrant. To use this feature effectively, you have to abandon a rapid back-and-forth prompting style. You need to treat this as asynchronous delegation. Give it a massive task and walk away while it works. Moving away from back-end logic, we also need to look at the model's visual UI and front-end layout capabilities. You can prompt the model for complex visual assets, like writing raw SVG graphics or building complete UI clones of Mac OS and TikTok. The aesthetic results rival Claude Opus. It delivers accurate typography, functional buttons, and highly polished layouts right out of the gate. But the initial output is rarely flawless. The first generation almost always contains clunky artifacts. You might get a butterfly graphic with a broken wing animation, or faulty UI elements that require immediate attention. That places our front-end UI capabilities in the high-impact, moderate-effort quadrant. That moderate effort represents a strict time tax. You will have to manually debug the code and repeatedly re-prompt the model to fix those initial glitches. It is an exceptional layout engine, provided you are willing to act as an active editor steering the design, rather than a passive consumer expecting instant perfection. Our final core capability to evaluate is multimodal reasoning and visual data processing. You can feed Qwen 3.6+ a massive scale of raw inputs, including dense document sets or complete 29-minute unstructured video files. It transforms that raw visual data into highly condensed, structured formats. It can edit that long video to a 23-second summary, or generate a polished slide deck based purely on visual context. The friction point here is access. To unlock the full potential of these multimodal tools, you often have to bypass the basic chatbot and use third-party integrations like the Kilo CLI or custom API setups. This drops multimodal analysis into the high-impact, low-effort quadrant, with a notable asterisk attached for that required technical setup. Once the integration is running, the analysis is incredibly powerful and fast. However, that initial technical friction acts as a steep barrier to entry for the casual user. With the capabilities mapped, we need to look at the economics. Choosing to adopt Qwen 3.6+ comes down to your return on investment. The API exact pricing is 50 cents per 1 million input tokens and $3 per 1 million output tokens. Compared to the competition, that cost-to-capability ratio is staggeringly high, provided your workflow can actually absorb those slow generation speeds. This chart breaks down recommendations based on 3 specific user profiles: the automation dev, the prototyper, and the casual chatter. For the automation dev managing heavy terminal tasks, the deep reasoning makes this a phenomenal background engine. This profile is highly recommended. For the front-end prototyper, this model is a great fit, with the explicit caveat that you must be prepared to manually iterate through initial UI glitches. This is a conditional fit depending on your patience. Finally, the casual chatter. If you want instant, rapid-fire text generation for quick brainstorming, the sluggish reasoning phase will frustrate you. You should definitely look elsewhere. Qwen 3.6 Plus is not a snappy, universal chatbot. It is a highly specialized, heavy-lifting engine built for asynchronous work. Use it for what it was built to do, and it gets the job done.